Hello, my name is Jules, and welcome to this first episode of Tuesday Tea with Jules. So, I am actually going live and streaming in quite a few different groups. So, if you are in any one of my programs, Open and Play Academy or the Authentic Learning Experience, you would really, I guess, know me, I'm sure. But I think a lot of you might not be familiar with me. If you are brand new to my world, if you're seeing this video for the first time, hello, my name is Jules again, and I am a play parenting coach, and I am from Stories of Play. And so this is something that I am just doing for the brand, it's something brand new. I'm doing it for the very, very first time. And so I'm not sure where this will go, but this is just me taking a leap of faith, a step of faith into the unknown. And so I'll be sharing my story in a little bit about, I guess, where this whole idea came from and what I intend to do with this space. But hello, for those of you who don't know me. And I am here because I have a story to share. I have things that I know I can help parents with. And I'm just here showing up as my raw, authentic self, just facing my fears, doing it anyway, and just trying to connect with any other parents who might be on the same journey as me. And so, hello, Peking. So nice to see you. Thank you for being here with me and just helping me calm my nerves. I don't know, I go live so often, so many times, and it honestly never gets easier anytime. And it helps so much to see a familiar face, a familiar name here. So super excited, super cool. Thank you for being here with me, Peking. Okay, so yes, I think I actually haven't, I've mentioned my name a few times now, but I actually haven't mentioned what I actually do. So for those of you who are brand new to me, I actually help parents with harnessing the power of open-ended play. So for those of you who don't actually follow me on Stories of Play, my biggest platform that I love to hang out and share my tips with play with parents is on Instagram, and I am there as Stories of Play. So I'm also currently now streaming on YouTube. So I don't know how many people are brand new following me, but I help parents with harnessing the power of open-ended play. And as a result of that, learn through play. And I call that authentic learning. So a lot of people might be familiar with me as a parenting coach. But I guess the reason why I wanted to do something that's brand new is because more than a parenting coach, I am also a mom of four. And not just a mom of four, I'm also a homeschooling mom of four. And so, yes, we've got my husband and I, Dan, we actually have four girls between the ages of 8, who is our oldest. We've got a 6-year-old. Then we've got a 4, actually, she's almost 5 now, next month. And then we've got an almost 2 years old as well. So we've got 3 under 3 in the first 3 years. And then we've got 3 years later, we had another fourth one. So we are a homeschooling family. And besides being a homeschool family, we are also Christians. We believe in God. And so I often like to share my faith as well on my platform. And what else? I am also a business owner. And so we do lots and lots of things about, business growth and personal growth. And so I am not just a parenting coach. There's just so many parts about me. I have been married to Dan, my husband, for almost 9 years now, actually 9 years tomorrow, which is super, super exciting. I cannot believe how far we've come in just 9 years. And just so excited, right? That there is so many different parts of me, right? And it's just really more about sharing different parts about me that make me, right? Because a lot of people just see me as Jules, this expert with play. And yes, I am that, but I am so much more. And in terms of parenting, even though I am almost 8 years into parenthood, there is so much that I'm constantly still learning, so much that I am growing in, so much that triggers me, so much that I am failing it in as well. And I shout at my kids. We do so many different things, right? That people often think that I don't do because I'm Jules, I'm a parenting coach. I don't do any of that. But there's still so much that I'm growing with. And that's why I really wanted to set up this space where I can come and share the things that I'm not doing so well in. I can be honest about the things that I'm failing in and showing up for all of you to see, right, that you are not alone, right? The things that you think no one understands, no one sees, that you are only struggling with, you are the only parent who can't get your child to sleep through the night. You are the only parent who can't get your fussy child to not to stop complaining about food. Whatever it is that you think you're the only parent going through with, I wanted to create a space here so that you will feel like you are less alone, right? That you see me in the stories I share, the same struggles that we all face. And that's the reason why I started this platform, this new platform called, I guess, Tuesday Tea with Jules. So a little bit more about, I guess, the story behind all of this is, for a really, really long time now, I would say more than 3 years, I have wanted to start a podcast. For those of you who don't know me, okay, I love to chat. I love a good chat. I love to catch up with friends, in person. I love to talk to people. I love to go deep. I hate making small talk. Okay, if you are here and you are like me, who don't like to make small talk, you are in good company, because I hate that. I don't like, the fake, oh, how are you doing? I'm fine. How about you? And that's it. I love to really, really share openly my struggles with people, my friends. I love to really, really check in with my friends. I love to just hang out and connect with people on a deeper and more meaningful level. And so for the longest time now, I've wanted to start a podcast. Now, me being the perfectionist that I am, for over 3 years now, I have wanted to do this, but I keep holding myself back, right? Maybe because I'm busy, but busyness is always just an excuse, isn't it? And so for me, right, I always tell myself, oh, I just don't have the time now. I've got babies and all that, which is true. I don't, right? But also, there are so many other less important reasons. I sat down and I make a list of all the reasons why I can't start this video podcast now. Sorry, this podcast now, right? And so things like, oh, we don't have the finances to be able to, either learn how to start a podcast, because there are so many things that comes involved. I did some research. There's so many things that it comes into creating a podcast, right? You need to get a podcast editor to edit your podcast as well, unless you are able to do it yourself. I'm definitely not able to do it myself, and so I needed to either outsource it, which we didn't have the budget for it at this current point in time. And so, you know what, I kept pushing it back. We don't have the budget for it, or we don't have the time to go and learn how to create something like this, right? And so I just kept on pushing it and pushing it. And then another most silly reason that I'm going to share with you openly for not being able to start this podcast for 3 years now is because I could not figure out what I wanted the podcast to be about. And I could not figure out what name I wanted to call the podcast. You see, because on Stories of Play, I am known there for sharing about play, sharing about learning. But because this new platform, right, I really wanted to talk about so many different topics that makes me, right? And to talk about homeschooling, to talk about business, to talk about parenting, to talk about marriage, to talk about, what is it like working with your husband, all these different exciting topics I'm so passionate about and I want to share more about. I just didn't know what to call this brand new podcast, right? And I didn't know if I needed to, niche down and make it really specific, like Stories of Play Instagram account, or could I just go general? So there was all these different things in my head, right, that I was overthinking of for over 3 years now. And I finally came to this point, like a couple of weeks ago, actually, I think just last week, if I'm being honest. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it, right? Because if I constantly wait and wait and wait, I know that I will always find reason not to do something. It's on my, like, I've already waited for 3 years now. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to grow in this new season where I want to embrace imperfection. For the longest time, I've had perfectionism hold me back, right? I keep overthinking things and I keep wanting to do things perfectly. But you can never do things perfectly, right? You can only get better at doing things, and you only get better when you actually start doing things, right? Nobody gets better by just overthinking things. And so this is me showing up and showing you how is it to how to fail forward, because honestly, you never fail, really truly fail. You either succeed, you either get to where you want to be, or you get lessons, which are valuable things that actually propel you forward as well. And so this is why I have decided to do this, and what actually today's little chat is all about. And it's really about the idea of growth, right? This over the past weekend, right, I have been thinking and stewing on this idea of growth for the longest time. And it really got me thinking as a parenting coach, something that I help parents with, something that all parents like to talk about is how do we help our children to grow? How do we help our children to develop, right? And to have all these amazing skills. But we never stop to ask ourselves, what do I, as a parent, as an individual, as a person, as an adult, what do I need to grow in, right? We are so concerned with our children growing, getting to the next stage. But how about us? We somehow, as we become an adult, we stop thinking about our own personal growth. And that is something that is so incredibly important to me, so passionate for me. Every season of my life, I tell myself, I never want to reach a season in my life where I stop growing. I never want to reach a season of my life where I feel like, oh, you know what? I have made it. I'm the best parenting coach there is out there. I'm the best parent. Like, who would ever says that, right? Or, I'm the best at whatever it is. Maybe you do watercolors, right? You might think, oh, I'm the best already. Or maybe I don't know, whatever it is that you do. Maybe you are a pianist, right? And you think that, oh my goodness, I'm like the best pianist already. I never want to reach a stage of my life where I do not grow anymore and I'm just content. Once we reach a point in life where we are just content with where we are, that's when we actually start to move backward. And it's such a disservice to us personally, and it's such a disservice to our children who we are trying to raise to have that growth mindset as well. And so this is me again, right? Showing all of you, right, what it looks like to constantly be growing. Because here is me taking that first step to grow out of my imperfection, my perfectionism, actually, to embrace imperfection and to embrace progress over perfection. And so, even things like, I was talking to Dan recently because tomorrow, like I mentioned, is our 9th year anniversary. And, we were just talking this week. Wow, guys, I cannot imagine that we have reached this point where we are celebrating 9 years. It's a big deal, right? It is so cool to see how far we've come. And, I was talking to Dan and we were just really, really excited and happy with where we are as a couple and as a married couple specifically. We're just congratulating each other and we're telling each other, we've had some tough times, but I honestly feel like we are in such a good place, right? We have a great marriage, a strong marriage, and I was telling them, you know what? Even though we are at such a good place marriage-wise, I feel like there's so much more for us. I never want to stop growing and investing in our marriage. I never want to just be so, what's the word for it? Be so, I can't remember now what, I lost my train of thought, but I never want to reach the point where I just feel content, right, in where we are. I'm grateful, but I know there is more. There is more to parenting. There's more to marriage. I want more out of just what life has got to give. And I'm just so excited to jump in and dive in and to grow in every aspect of my life. And so this really, really, really sums up what Tuesday Tea with Jules is going to be, right? So I want to talk about how, moving forward, right? What are the things you can expect in this weekly space on Tuesday, right? You're going to hear me sharing stories and lessons from my own life, either as it pertains to being an online business owner. I know lots of people love to hear real life stories about that, right? How do we actually face our fears, right? To have my husband Dan, for those of you who don't know our story, we also recently celebrated a different anniversary. Dan and I recently celebrated 3 years of Dan resigning from corporate life and joining us and working together on Stories to Play together. So that is another milestone we have been celebrating in October. We've got quite a few milestones. So it was super exciting as well. And I know when I shared that on Instagram, where it's my main community and where I often show up, lots of people were really, really curious about how we actually made that first step. How do we actually face our fears to actually take the step to resign and to actually jump into the deep end, right? We actually took a 70% household income cut to do this thing. and it was really, really scary. And so when I shared that recent milestone, lots of people were asking me questions like, how do you get started, Jules? How did you face your fears and all of that? And so moving forward, these are the things I want to share on this platform as well. What did we learn? How did we go about doing it? What did we do first? What did we do next? How did we invest in growth? What it looked like from the inside? Again, a little behind the scenes look on what it actually looks like with finances and all of that. And also things like homeschooling. I talk about homeschooling a little bit on Stories of Play account, but there's honestly so much more to homeschooling that I would love to share as well. I'm so passionate about homeschooling because I just love how my children just get this childhood, this amazing the time and the space for them to dive into all of their interests, and it's incredible. And Dan and I are both currently based in Melbourne, Australia, but for 2 months, sometimes 3 months every single year, we actually head back to Singapore, where I'm from, where my family is from, and we get to spend, we have that opportunity and the luxury to spend so much time, 2 to 3 months in Singapore as well, with our family in Singapore and all of that. And that's because of our online business, but also because of our homeschooling lifestyle as well, so that we get to, just do all of these different experiences as well. And so this is what I want to share a little bit more here as well. And then obviously, like I said, with Dan and I, our marriage, I'm so passionate about marriage. I want to talk and dive a little bit more about what partnership in marriage looks like as well, especially if you are working together with your husband like I am, or if you're homeschooling together like we are. It's crazy, right? There's honestly so many things that I would love to talk about, and that's why I'm so excited now to have this brand new platform where I can talk about all other things that are important to me, and I hope will be fascinating and interesting for all of you as well. You might not be resonating with every part of the story that I share, but I hope that, whenever you listen to an episode here and there, right, you will find something that encourages you to see that there is possibilities everywhere we look. And I hope you get encouragement from this platform as well to, to embrace the hard, to see that this season could be hard, right? That you are seen. I see the heart, but it also is so beautiful. And there really is magic in the mundane. That's something that I love to say. This is probably one of my favorite parenting phrases, I guess, that I always love to say, that there is magic in the mundane. Because, with parenting, it is so mundane. You're doing the repetitive stuff over and over and over again every single day. But there truly is hard. It truly is hard, but there truly is so much magic and beauty in it. And I would love to share my story so that you get to see both the hard and the beauty, and really see how you can reconcile both together, right? Oftentimes in parenting and in all the different accounts that I see, there's always, two different camps, right? I always see all the camps where, it's always just, complaining, motherhood sucks, parenting sucks, everything is terrible, bad, 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 these too shall pass. There's so many of those negativity that comes together with parenting. And then there's always the other extreme as well, where everything is so good. You need to, you need to embrace it, because you only just get 18 summers with your kids, and then it moves on. Your children, you need to enjoy the newborn phase. You need to enjoy parenting, because once you need to enjoy pregnancy, because once your baby is here, you're never going to sleep again. There's all the two different extremes, right? Where one side is all the it paints parenting as so terrible, and then the other extreme where they keep telling parents, it's wonderful, you need to soak up everything. But the reality is, I believe that you can have both, and that is how I like to look at every situation that I face in it as well, that there is both challenges. I want to acknowledge the hardness of things that we do. I want to acknowledge the hardness of every situation, every season of our lives. But I also want to help parents to see that there is magic, there is beauty in the difficult seasons as well. So this platform really, I hope with all my heart that I'm able to help you see that you are not alone, that there is hard in your season, but it is also magical and it is also beautiful, and that both can coexist at the same time. Okay, so yes, hello. I'm so glad I've spoken so much. I did not take time to actually say hi to everyone here. So I just wanted to say hello, happy kids at home. Thank you for just joining me today. Hello, Erin from KL. I've been looking forward to this all week. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm so glad to have you here with me on this journey. So, yes, in summary, right, of all of this today, so this first session is really just to set up the stage for what Tuesday Tea with Jules is going to be like, and also what you can expect from me moving forward. But to sum up and put a nice little bow on today's session, because as a teacher you always have a beginning, as a middle, as an end as well, and I love to make sure that with every podcast episode that I do, right, you will be able to take something actionable away as well. And so today I just want to very quickly talk about growth. I've already talked about it a little bit at the start already, right? But now it's your turn. I want you to think about where in your season, right, do you want to grow with now? And choose just one thing that you want to grow in. For me, right, this season, I have chosen to embrace imperfection and embrace and try my best to, um, do and show up imperfectly, right? I did not wait for me to actually think about a wonderful name for this new thing that I'm doing. So I'm just calling it Tuesday Tea with Jules now. It's not fancy. It's so straightforward, right? It's not very cool, but it is what it is. I'm going with it anyway. And I'm not thinking about October is such a weird time to start something new. Maybe I should just wait till January, right? With a start of a brand new year, start of January 1st, we can have new resolutions. That would be a perfect time to start something new, right? And actually, the reason why I intentionally started this, right, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like October, just a crazy time in the year, just starting something brand new, is because I want to embody and model what it looks like to just start anyway. Sometimes we get so caught up, right, in thinking everything needs to be perfect before I can start something. I need to, when it comes to play, for example, coming back to my pet topic about play, sometimes we think that, I want to set up this beautiful play space for my kids, but maybe you are staying with your family, maybe you are staying with in-laws, maybe you don't actually have your own place yet, maybe you are staying in a really, really small house, maybe you are in transition, right? Maybe you are waiting for your house to be built, right? You've got all these different ideas of what you want to do in a few months, next year, when we have our house, right? Or maybe you are waiting for January to do something, right? But we forget that we actually can take small, very, very small steps to take us forward, to keep us moving forward. Even right now, you can absolutely start where you are, right? I know it is so easy for us to wait till January 1st to actually set up New Year's resolution. But honestly, guys, there's nothing special about New Year's. There is nothing special about January 1st. We can make any day of the year our day one, right? And so today, I just want to encourage you to think of something, right, that you want to grow in. Maybe you want to start homeschooling next year. Well, and you don't know what to do. Maybe now is the time, right? Maybe your area of growth that you have identified yourself is to grow in your knowledge about the different options you might have when it comes to homeschooling. Great time to start now, actually, in October, right? Got a few months to prepare yourself, a few months to do some research, read up on books, listen to podcasts, ask questions of people who have been ahead of you. What else? Maybe you want to set up a play space, right? Start now, start today. You don't have to do like this whole entire big thing, but it could just be the smallest tweak that you want to set up something for your child. Maybe it is something about toddlers. Maybe you have toddlers now and you are just, really so frustrated about all the toddler tantrums and all of that. You know what? Go and listen to a podcast. Go and find a book, a recommended book on Amazon, or people that you trust and they have recommended book. And you've got this book on your shelf that you've wanted to read for the longest time, and you're just thinking, oh, I just don't have the time. Maybe in next month, when I have more time in my schedule, I can start that. You don't have to wait until you have like a whole entire blocked out month before you can start something. Now, I've got this book here. Okay, sorry, it's not here. I don't know where it is, but there's this book, okay, that I've been wanting to read for the longest time. And you know what? I am still stuck in chapter 1. But the thing is, I started. I started with chapter 1, I started with the first page, and sometimes I have to go back to reading that same page again and again, because in between my reading sessions, it's a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and I forgot what I read, and I have to go back again. It does not matter. You know what? Sometimes there is value in rereading the same passage, the same page of a book multiple times as well, right? And so today I want to encourage you, think of just one thing, right? If we want to do all of the things, it's going to be too hard. It's going to be too overwhelming, and we are just going to stop and not do anything because of the overwhelm. So just choose one small area. Just firstly choose the area of growth that you want to grow in, right? It could be, finding a hobby for yourself. It could be, you are a watercoloring, you're dipping your toes in watercoloring, hand lettering. That's something also, one of my passions at the moment is hand lettering, right? Any point opportunities that I get, I love to actually sit down when my children are doing drawing, and I will just pull up some Instagram accounts that I follow who does hand lettering, and I will just use their work as inspiration to practice those myself as well. And so it does not take a lot of time. It does not take a lot of effort. There are little things that we can do every single day to take steps forward to grow where we want to be in future, but it starts right now. Okay, so yes, I love this. Liana, thank you for chiming in and sharing that you want to clean and tidy your kids' room after our move. Love that. So good. Yes, so cleaning. Oh my gosh, cleaning, guys. Again, we a couple of months back, we started having a cleaner, fortnightly cleaner, and it has been life-changing, right? It only lasts for like 2 hours before it goes back to before the cleaners came. And oh my goodness, I treasure, I'm so grateful for this fortnight cleaners who come and clean our house. It is such a blessing, and I'm just so beyond grateful for it. I wish we could afford more times than once a fortnight, but for now, once a fortnight will do. And so yes. All right, guys. So I think that's all I really want to talk about. So if you are listening and if you would love it, I would want you to actually be accountable to each other, right? Let's have this community mindset, right? Where we are able to feel comfortable to share the things that we're working on so we can cheer each other on. If you are watching this inside of my groups, Open and Play Academy or the Authentic Learning Experience, right? Under this video in the group, you can feel free to write, and so that we can all be accountable to each other. Write down one thing that you want to grow in. And let's just give ourselves a time frame, okay? Let's look at this as the next 3 months until the end of the year. Something that we want to action on, something that we want to grow in, right? Could be reading one book, a parenting book. Could be finding out more about homeschooling. It could be, setting up a play space. It could be, I don't know, going for a marriage workshop with your husband because you want to invest in growing in your marriage, right? Whatever it is, pick one area in your life, hobby, whatever it is, write that down so that you can be accountable to us and we can be accountable to you, right? So once again, thank you so much, I guess, for joining me on this very, very first session of Tuesday Tea with Jules. And I'm really, really excited of where this is going to lead us, the community that we are going to build together, this journey that I'm on. I'm so excited that you're here with me right at the beginning where things are messy. I don't know what I'm doing, but this is the point really, because this is me, growth for me, personal growth for me, showing up even when I actually don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what topics are going to come out in the next week and the next week and the next week and all as well, right? I'm scared that, some of you watching this might think, oh my gosh, she doesn't know what she's doing and she's just showing up. Yes, I am doing that. I really am embracing that fear of what people might say when they know that Jules actually doesn't know everything that she's doing, right? But I wanted to show you, I wanted to be the first, right? I wanted to go first to show you that it's safe, right? It is safe to do difficult things, to do things outside of your challenging zones, to do things that even though you might not know what you're doing, but you do it anyway. You feel the fear of all of it and you do it anyway. So I love that you're right here at the start of this journey for me, because maybe in 1 year from now, I'm going to have a very, very amazing system going. I might have a fancy podcast. I might have a fancy name about all of this as well, but you will not see that messy beginning. And I'm so glad that you're right here with me, seeing my messy beginning, right? So yes, let's see where this last few months is going to look for all of us. I'm super excited for the growth, the big growth, little growth, middle growth, every type of growth. We celebrate every little growth here in Stories of Play. And I want you to be able to see that for yourself as well, that no growth is too small. Okay, so actually, before I go, I just wanted to have a look and see, because some of you are sharing as well. And I'm so grateful for all of you who are sharing with the things that you want to actually work on as well. So we've got Hui Ying trying to cope 2 under 2 now. We have no helper. I'm going back to work soon. Oh my goodness. I see you. It is so hard. Oh my goodness. We were there. We were right there. We had 2 under 16 months, and it was insane. It was insane. I actually don't remember now how I actually did that, but I'm alive here now to tell you the story that we have survived. And, you know, as parents, we are so much more amazing and capable than we give ourselves credit for. You know, and this story I love to share to encourage you, Huing, is, you know, back when I was a first-time mom, and I remember going to this play center where I saw this other mom there with 3 really, really young kids. Definitely she had 3 under 3, like at that point in time. But at that point in time, I only had 1. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this mom is insane. There I was at the play center just juggling with 1. And I was so stressed. I was so frazzled. I just couldn't do anything properly. And I just felt so bad. And I was there at the play center because it was much easier getting out of the house than being stuck with my 1 child at home. And so there I was at the play center, and I saw this mom juggling 3, and I had so much respect for her and so much awe. And I was just thinking to myself, I could never do anything like her. And then fast forward a couple of years later, I was in that same position as her, 3 under 3 as well. And, you know, I came to that epiphany, right, where, you know, we should never judge and look at someone ahead of us and think that we will never be at that same place, because we will never be at a point of time if we're comparing ourselves at that point of time to where a person is in their journey ahead of us, right? But the thing is, as parents, right, if you think of yourself in your pregnancy, right, when you first pop at 13 weeks, maybe, I don't know when you first pop, but all of my babies, I popped around 13 weeks. And I looked at myself and I was thinking, oh my goodness, Jules, your belly, your tummy is so big. I can't believe how big you are at 13 weeks, guys. And then when it came to around the beginning of 3rd trimester, I was around 27 weeks, 27, 28 weeks. I honestly felt like a whale. I was heaving and puffing when I was walking. I started having a pregnancy swag, but I could not, I just could not imagine myself getting bigger, any more bigger than that. I was so exhausted and felt so big and heavy at 28 weeks. And then when I look at the pictures in my last week of pregnancy, like literally the last few photos just before baby came, I'm just shocked. Like, I have no words, right, honestly, for how big and how monstrous I was back then, right? And the thing is, right, when we are at 13 weeks, we cannot imagine, right? Because our capacity, our awareness has only brought us to be aware of what it looks like to be 13 weeks pregnant. But once we reach 27, 28, our capacity enlarges, our skin stretches, right? We are able to hold more. And then when we finally reach the very, very last stage of pregnancy, right, we stretch even more, my goodness, right? All of the stretch marks starts to come out and we are so huge, so big, right? And this is where I want to encourage you with as well, Huing, right? Where at every stage of our journey, right, every stage you will consistently be stretching a little bit. And so now if you look back, right, at where you were as a first-time parent, right, you will feel like, you know, if you just have 1 child now, it's like a freaking holiday, right? And it's the same for me as well now, with a parent of 4 as well. When I have just 1 child, it really, really feels like a holiday. I cannot imagine anything else like that. And so I hope to encourage you to see that, you know, where you are now could be challenging, but you are just going to enlarge. You are just going to continue to grow to be able to hold what you have been given with. And then at that point of time, you're going to look back and think, wow, you know, I have come so far, right? I have come so far. Okay, Peking, potty training. Daddy and I have been procrastinating. Oh my goodness, Peking, I am cheering you on. This is a very, very exciting season. So yes, go for it. We will definitely keep you accountable, because I know you, Peking, you're in our community. So yes, we will keep you accountable every time I see you, I'll ask you, how's potty training going? All right, Chisan, good to see you here. Okay, Catherine, thank you so much, Catherine, for your encouragement back at me. My love language is words of affirmation. And so, as much as I love to encourage, I also do love to be encouraged. So, I really, really thank you and appreciate you for encouraging me back. Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And next week, we will have a very, very special episode. I will not say anything for now, but I've got something quite exciting planned for next week. So, till next week, I will see you again and have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of the week, guys. See ya. Bye.